Ozan Aksoy on the show. We're listening to his new album, and we're lucky enough that he is doing some live performance. In fact, in his hand looks like Ney. Am I close enough? Yeah.
Yeah. Ney, it's a flute. For those doesn't have any reedless flute. It's practically a plastic water pipe. So it's easier to tune because the natural instruments are hard, and in New York City it's harder to keep maintain them.
And the ney always it's often used in like poetry and stuff. They talk about the ney. There's many poems, right? Why is that?
I mean, it's sonically, at least in the psyche of Western Asians, like the West Asia, including Turks, Arabs, Iranians, Kurds. Ney sounds the closest to the human voice, to the extent that it can be imitating human voice. Also, there is a sort of this in the religious music. Ney plays a significant role, especially among the Sufis. Ney and percussions and some other melodic instruments, but practically percussions and ney are the ultimate pillars of some religious music among Sufis, among some other mystics. That and again, we don't want to be too academic, but ney also has a special place in that music. So simultaneously, it is this spiritually significant instrument, but also believed to be closest to human voice, and it's natural out of the bamboos or around the places that can be found, different shapes, different sizes, different ways of playing, different timbres exist. So it's one of those unique instruments that you can find many versions in all around the Muslim world and non-Muslim world, but definitely Arab world and the Turkish world, the Persian world. It's one of those unique instruments that you can find in all places. That's probably one reason. It's this closest to the earliest ensembles. The earliest ensembles in all around the world are some form of flutes, some aerophones, and some drums, some membranophones or some. So it's this earliest combination of the ensembles, I think, that make ney as a significant instrument that you can be found in different places in different times. So I mean, there are many other theories, but let's stop here.
Cool.
Instead of that, so I'm gonna play a piece called Memuzin, a composition. composition by Mazlum Çimen, by the way, not my composition.
Beautiful. Wow.
Thank you.
Nice. Wow. And I noticed I never noticed this so explicitly that you get some of the vibrato by like actually shaking the flute itself, right? Like,
yeah, or lips or body. It's just
something has to
move.
Shake. Yeah. I'm realizing, even though I guess we met maybe a decade ago, that I don't know a whole lot about you. So you grew up where?
So I grew up in a city called Antakya in the south Turkey, near Syrian border. Then went to Istanbul for college. Then came to New York City to do my doctorate in ethnomusicology.
That's what brought you over.
Yep.
And your parents were music people, or what
my dad played the saz, the lute, and I learned from him. Although he says that I'm much better than he is, I still respect what he does. It's this ancient tradition that I love when he plays. From my dad, from family, from playing with others, and then slowly getting into music. I don't have a formal music education per se, undergrad or other, but at college in Istanbul at Bosporus University, we had a folklore club, which probably provided the best music education you could get. Then we then grew up a music group from that folklore club called Kardeş Türküler, Ballads of Solidarity. It's experimental folk music, multilingual group that is more or less one of the most influential folk music groups in Turkey, trying new rhythmic combinations, new arrangement styles. So I was one of the early members of the group for probably a decade, 8-9 years. That became my education, my worldview about music, how I see music. So I don't see music as monolingual or mono-ethnic. So maybe let's reverse back a little bit. Kardeş Türküler is this group that it's not the first, but it's one of the first groups in Turkey that played Turkish, Kurdish, Armenian, Hebrew, or other languages together, which made it harder in certain instances. That the politics and the other aspects were hard to manage.
People were offended by this,
especially the government, and some, of course, ultra-nationalists.
Tough to please those guys.
Sure. Then, some concerts were cancelled by the cops. Some people were arrested in city of Van, because it was not easy to government to, especially even today. I mean, now we are returning back in a even worse manner in Turkey. The politics in Kurdish issue is so at the time it was so dire. Anyhow, long story short, that multilingual performance history made me learn more about this music or these kinds of musics, and I came here to New York City. That's where we met, actually.
Yeah.
we met through. We had a trio, Atakan, me, and Emrah. It was one of the really beautiful concerts we gave. Then place called Makor. You remember that place? I think it doesn't exist anymore. Where we had a trio. We had a couple concerts.
I remember one concert at some kind of Kurdish. It was something.
There were some Kurdish New Year celebrations in Nowruz. Really fun group. Atakan is in Cyprus, and now Emrah is doing his own work. So it didn't go too far, but on the way we met people like you.
Yeah.
Volodya was.
Yeah. Well, that's really amazing. Like, I mean, it's just hard I guess for us in the United States, when we say, oh, an artist is making a statement or they're doing something or they're taking a risk. But it's a different... Taking a risk artistically here just means you might get some bad reviews or lose some fans. But you guys were taking a risk and the government is shutting down your concerts.
Sure. And, I mean, we were lucky and we were sort of spared. There were other musicians whose instruments were, like, stolen, who were jailed just because they were singing in different languages with no reason whatsoever. So it's, I mean, either luck or for some reason we didn't have that kind of real jail or arrest probability, but it doesn't change the fact that it's hard for some music groups to do music, to make music, to put together songs, play and act and travel, tour some cities. I mean, it was hard for us, I remember, to go to the eastern part of where the Kurdish population in Turkey is, to perform there. So you have to have checkpoints, you have to have things, and the cops would check. You have to send who's coming with you in advance. Like, lots of laws become used against people making music like we do. And some musicians had even harsher treatment they face from the government because of the politics of the time. Even today, I mean, there are still albums that are not allowed in Turkey. Like, it's this insane. I mean, we are in 2018. There are many reasons, but I don't want to bore you. It's hard for certain kinds of music to be done, to reach out to the audience that is desperately demanding.
Well, that's the other side of it, right? I mean, it must be so moving to people at the same time.
Sure,
in the context of it being repressed.
Thousands of people, like, joining you on stage, joining you when you're on stage. We were in the Kurdish city of Diyarbakir. I remember it was the New Year celebration. I think there were 700,000 people, like, and they're moving with you, and it's this unbelievable feeling that you have no idea what's going on. I mean, of course, euphoria, but at the same time, some of them maybe be jailed after a while. Right. Like after celebration of New Year, some cops decide that these people seem to be dangerous for the society.
They're having too much fun.
Yeah, too much fun.
And and it is very interesting how different regimes who are repressive recognize the power of music and know what a threat it is. Almost in a way that other regimes don't recognize. Like, if you turn around, you say, well, why isn't there more funding? If America knew how powerful its music was, like, why wouldn't it be supported?
Think about it.
But it's like the bad guys know, like, they know to ban music in certain countries and stuff like that.
Here we don't fund it, Yep, that's an interesting way, because we know that it's gonna, it's elitist,
So, well, that's interesting. So I guess in a way, this struggle and that intense environment in which you're studying music and each note really counting in a certain way, that seems like that was the seed of what your project has been, to play and learn music from all these different regions.
Definitely, and respect what people have brought. I mean, any music made in Turkey is, or Anatolia, or wherever, however you want to define, is music that I should know. I want to know, and I want to sing as much as I could. As a matter of, I think, it gives me comfort to sing an Armenian song or a different language. To that extent, I wanted to. In this album too, we have an Armenian song. We have a song about survivors of genocide. So that experience is also part of my experience as a person. Maybe not personally, or my family, maybe they didn't have any real confrontation, but I know it is part of that soil that I come from. That is, the people died, the blood is there or was there. So so I wanted to represent all of them to the extent I could. I mean, imagine in a different setting would be different, but that multiple languages, multiple experiences, ethnicities, sort of informed my upbringing as a musician, as a person, as an individual, as a scholar. So anyway, all the ensembles I established in New York City, or I was part of Columbia Middle East Music Ensemble and CUNY Graduate Center, then Hunter College. All of them had multilingual repertoires: Turkish, Arabic, Hebrew, Armenian, Laz, or whatever we have, Kurdish, to the extent we can. I mean, it's not, you cannot sing every single song in an ensemble from any languages spoken in that ensemble, but I tried as hard as I could to put as many different languages as possible to the mix. Without them, I felt always incomplete. Without like having a Middle East music ensemble not singing a Farsi song would be harsh for me, at least. Or without an Arabic or a Hebrew song would be harsh. I mean, it's sort of, it doesn't feel finished. It doesn't feel complete in my worldview.
Right.
Because I mean, yes, there are many other languages, but to the extent that we could, if you can find a Gilaki song from Iran, that's perfect. Or if you can find, I mean, if that's something that we can do as the members of ensemble with the technical difficulties or whatever, I wanted to sing. I wanted us learn songs from Tunisia or from wherever we can, to the extent we can. So that is the beauty of being in New York City, but also the curse, because you cannot find time. You have people from different cultures and languages, but you cannot find time for them to come and then teach you how to sing in Gilaki or in other languages. So anyway,
right.
I don't want to talk
it's
too much about it.
Embarrassment of riches, you know.
Yeah,
so much.
we're so busy.
Yeah.
We cannot do anything, even though we should be.
Yeah. Well, why don't this is a good time to pick up an instrument. And
sure.
You have so many here.
So many.
Yeah.
Some. So I brought a saz and I brought some kaval and ney. I don't know. What should I do?
What's the feeling telling you to do?
Okay.
And if you're just tuning in, my guest is Ozan Aksoy, whose new album called Ozan has just come out. And he's here going to perform live for us right here at the studio.
So the instrument I'm playing, since you are not seeing it, is a saz or bağlama. It's 7 strings in 3 courses, 2, 2, 3. This one is a little bit shorter neck, 19 frets. Frets are not equally spaced, which gives opportunities to play different notes. So I'm gonna play some free rhythmic introductions from the region. This one, and then maybe we'll sing a song afterwards. If I do, which I'm not sure if I'll get to that point, but I'll explain later. Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
Sivas'ın yolları bükülür gider. Sivas'ın yolları bükülür gider. Sırma saçlar bele dökülür gider. Ölem gider oyu. İstanbul değil ki çekem getirem, ömrüm arkasından tükenir gider oyu. İstanbul değil ki çekem getirem, ömrüm arkasından tükenir gider oyu.
All right. Wow. I picked up one word. Istanbul, huh? Wow.
It's a long song. I just
As an excerpt.
Midnight. I don't want to, but I'll play later other things. But as of now, I just wanted to give a snippet.
Give a flavor. Okay, so that's
just like a free rhythmic. It's different names, but Uzun Hava or other names used for this kind of this genre. I mean, Taksim is used a lot in the Arab music. It's not just Taksim; it's more than that.
Taksim is
It's
improvisation.
the improvisation, this free rhythmic introduction to the music before you start. It's a little bit what some parlando rubato or some form of sort of free rhythmic ariatic singing simultaneously playing. Anyway, I don't want to
like the Indian alap.
Yes, definitely. I was gonna go there,
And
but
kinda
you did it.
So yeah, it
You
sets
did
the
it.
stage. It
Yes,
sets the
set the
stage.
stage. Exactly. Alap is a good
Yeah.
beginning.
Wow. And that song. What's the history of that song?
This one is actually a lamentation. I think a sad love story, like many others.
Okay.
If it was happy, we wouldn't have any love songs. Yeah. So it's maybe later I'll sing other parts. A loss of the lover that will not come again. It's not. Istanbul is in this song refers to a far distance from a village. So I could bring you if you're in Istanbul, but you're not in Istanbul, meaning you're not in this world. So probably he is lamenting that she's dead. So yeah,
Beautiful.
sure, thank you.
Do you wanna show us something else from your bag of tricks?
So okay, or we can do some music and then come back.
Sure.
Well, I need to tune in a little bit.
Okay, as you wish. So you get cueing. So you're gonna play another live one for us.
I was thinking about it. I was trying to find some other things on an album. Let's do some. Yeah.
Okay.
This is a Turkish one. Turkish. Sivas ellerinde sazım çalınır, çamlı beller bölük bölük bölünür. Yardan ayrılmışam bağrım delinir, katip arzu halim yaz yâre böyle. Güzelim ey, güzelim ey, güzelim ey. Yardan ayrılmışam bağrım delinir, katip arzu halim yaz yâre böyle. Güzelim ey, bir tanem ey. Kalem tutan ellere, katip arzu halim yaz yâre böyle. Şekerlere ezeyim şirin dillere, katip arzu halim yaz yâre böyle. Güzelim ey, bir tanem ey, güzelim ey. Şekerlere ezeyim şirin dillere, katip arzu halim yaz yâre böyle. Güzelim ey, güzelim ey.
Wow. I feel like I know that tune. I feel like that one was in the canon from when we used to hang out.
I think so.
10 years ago.
Yeah, surely.
Yeah.
Maybe want to tell a little bit how we met over the.
I mean, from my perspective, I had first worked for George Wein, a great music producer, and then I traveled the world, and then all my plans got messed up, and I ended up living back with my parents, and then I was crawling out of that existence, and I moved into an apartment in Washington Heights for $500 a month, and then there wasn't up to much, but there was two incredible musicians in the building. One, an Israeli guy who seemed to be able to play anything he heard, and I'd be like, "Play this," I'd play him something. That, whether it's classical. And then there's another guy that they called Maestro who was able to learn a Mozart fantasy by memory in 2 weeks and then perform it at Carnegie Hall. Yeah. So I asked them both, how do you do that? And they responded, let's roll one, no? Yeah. But, so I took little lessons from both of them, and Vlad taught me ear training, and Maestro taught me counterpoint. Yeah. But he was also great at playing Comanche, and he loved playing with you, and that's how we all.
So he started really late. I mean, as a person, I think he started after years when he was like 20 something. Yeah, he came for the Manhattan School of Music with a genius grant, I think. He's I mean, not I think. I know he's the best pianist in Turkey. Atakan Sarı, by the way, just
Yeah,
for
Atakan
those
Sarı.
who hasn't heard him, I think he's in Cyprus, teaching some, I don't know, some school there.
And the reason you haven't heard of him is his choice. Like he's
Yes.
he's a
He
musician.
is,
He's
yeah.
a music for music's sake. He's
Yeah.
not out trying to get his name in big lights.
Yeah.
You know, he's just and maybe that's part of it, because there's a couple other musicians I know who are on that kind of level, and they also are indifferent to chasing the same mirages that everybody else in this business is trying to attain, the magazine covers.
Yeah,
And,
good way to look at it. It was, I mean, so the songs we played together, some are familiar songs, some I played a lot before we tried this trio. Even then, his additions were so like minimal but so beautiful. Maybe I'll give some examples later. But it's this like one touch, just one tiny addition, one small, let's say, change in the chord, a little bit, just a little bit. His application of piano and guitar, and of course then kemençe, classical kemençe, was amazing. I really miss performing musicians like him on stage. It's a real pleasure. Of course, I'm sure he's doing a great job in wherever he's teaching. I wish he was in New York City, or I was there.
yeah, and
it was a real pleasure.
And I remember just the general attitude of your band. The guys would say, "Yeah, we're not." I think Emra would say, "Oh, we're just a repeat band. We're not making up our own music. This is, we're just
cover band."
Cover band.
Though lots of songs are not the same as their original version.
But it was intended to be a folk.
Yeah,
folk thing.
definitely.
So believe it or not, we only have like 20 minutes left or so. So I want any more. I don't know if you want...
maybe go with an album and then we'll come back.
Yeah, and we'll play some other stuff. Great. Okay, so we are gonna hear. You'll have to call this one.
Which one?
Kanchum Em.
Kanchum Em Ari Ari.
Oh,
it's Armenian song.
Okay.
Folk song. The arrangement is from Altunyan. So.
Cool. Let's check it out.
söktü Necmin şu evine Gerez renda xebrevinem Gerez keva xebrevinem Ta söktü Necmin şu evine
Şu garip halimden bilen şiveli nazlım Koynum hep sen yarıyor Neredesin sen Tatlı dilim güler yüzlüm Ceylan gözlüm Boynum hep sen yarıyor Neredesin sen Neredesin sen Tatlı dilim güler yüzlüm Ceylan gözlüm Boynum hep sen yarıyor Neredesin sen Neredesin sen Ben ağlarsam ağlayıp gülersem gülen, bütün dertlerimi ağlayıp gönlümü bilen, sanki kalbimi bilerek yüzüme gülen, koynum hep seni arıyor, neredesin sen, neredesin sen, sanki kalbimi bilerek yüzüme gülen, koynum hep seni arıyor, neredesin sen, neredesin sen. Sinemde gizli yaramı kimse bilmiyor, hiçbir tabip şu yarama merhem olmuyor. Boynu bükük bir garibim, yüzüm gülmüyor, koynum hep seni arıyor, neredesin sen, neredesin sen, boynu bükük bir garibim, yüzüm gülmüyor, koynum hep seni arıyor, neredesin sen, neredesin sen.
Wow. What's that mean, neredesin?
Neredesin sen? Where are you?
Ay.
It's this another love song. He's lamenting Necdet Ertaş. My heart is not feeling alive. No doctor can find any cure for this pain. And I'm not smiling without you. I'm not laughing. You are the only one that will understand me and make me feel better or happy.
Wonder what it's about.
Another sad love song.
Yeah, beautiful. Well,
Yeah.
and also, I forgot to compliment you. I mean, your voice sounds amazing,
Oh,
man.
thank you, man.
Yeah. So
I appreciate it.
cool. Well, the album is Ozan. You can find Ozan Aksoy, ozanaksoy.com.
ozanaksoymusic.com
Ozan
or
Aksoy.
ozanaksoy@gmail.com for any emails. But definitely check ozanaksoymusic.com.
Okay.
It's on Spotify, iTunes, anywhere you want to listen. And hopefully you'll listen. That's all I want people to listen, to like what we did. Thank you again.
Great. Yeah, thank you, Ozan.
Really appreciate it. Thank you, Dave.
My pleasure. All right. Good night, everybody.